Ever dream of hitting the open road in an electric vehicle, without obsessing over where to charge next? That whole range anxiety thing.
Yeah.
Well, today's deep dive might just be the charge you've been waiting for. We're taking a close look at Panasonic's latest move,
Okay.
the mass production of their 4680 battery cells.
Right.
And trust me, this is not just another battery upgrade.
What's remarkable here is how Panasonic is positioning this new battery, I mean. This isn't about incremental improvement. It's about overcoming a fundamental barrier to EV adoption.
Okay, so before we get ahead of ourselves, let's break this down. We've all heard the buzzwords, 4680, next-gen battery tech, but what does it all actually mean for you?
At its heart, the 4680 is still a lithium-ion battery, the same technology that powers your phone and laptop. But Panasonic has engineered this battery specifically for EVs, and they're claiming some pretty impressive advantages.
Like, for instance, the fact that this little powerhouse packs 5 times the capacity of their previous 2,170 cells,
Right.
that's got to have a real impact on how far you can drive, right?
Absolutely. Imagine this, driving from New York to Washington, D.C. on a single charge.
Wow.
That's the kind of range we're talking about. A game changer for anyone hesitant to make the switch to electric because of those dreaded charging stops.
No more plotting your road trip around charging stations. I can get behind that. But this
Mm.
kind of leap in technology, it probably comes with a hefty price tag, doesn't it?
That's where the 4680 gets even more interesting. Because you need fewer of these cells to achieve the same power, the manufacturing cost could actually be significantly lower. We could be looking at EVs becoming more affordable in the near future, perhaps even comparable to gasoline-powered cars.
Now, that's something I think we can all get excited about, but it's not just about the battery itself, is it? Panasonic has really gone all in on their production process, too.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I want to hear more about this Wakayama factory. This isn't just any factory, right?
You're right. The Wakayama factory is Panasonic's flagship, a blueprint for their global production strategy. This facility is dedicated to producing the 4680 with incredible precision and efficiency. Imagine a factory humming with the latest technology, fine-tuned to create these game-changing batteries.
Yep.
That's Wakayama.
And they're staffing up, too, which really shows their commitment. 400 employees dedicated solely to next-gen batteries by 2025. That's a significant investment in the future.
It speaks volumes about how seriously Panasonic is taking this technology. They're not just dipping their toes into the EV battery market, they're diving in head first.
And doing it with an eye towards sustainability, which is a major plus in my book. I was really impressed to learn that Wakayama is aiming for zero CO2 emissions.
That's right. Panasonic is harnessing the power of solar and wind energy at Wakayama, making this facility a beacon of their commitment to green manufacturing. It's something consumers are increasingly looking for, knowing the products they buy are made with the environment in mind.
And Panasonic has a history of putting their money where their mouth is when it comes to sustainability. They've already achieved carbon neutrality at all their domestic bases.
They're aiming for global carbon neutrality by 2029, a bold goal that aligns with the growing global push for environmentally responsible practices.
It's encouraging to see such a major player in the tech world take the lead on sustainability. But let's bring it back to you. What does this all mean for the everyday person? We've got this cutting-edge battery, a state-of-the-art factory, and a commitment to the environment. But how does it all add up to real-world impact?
It's about, well, transforming the entire EV experience for you. Imagine waking up, hopping into your car,
Right.
and knowing you have the freedom to drive further than you ever could before without constantly worrying about running out of battery.
It's like the difference between, driving gas guzzler and constantly eyeing the gas gauge versus just filling up once a week and forgetting about it.
Yeah.
This could be a real game changer for EV adoption.
Exactly. And when you factor in the potential for lower costs, you're looking at EVs becoming a viable option for a much wider range of consumers. It's not just about luxury EVs anymore. It's about making electric mobility accessible to everyone.
And if more people make the switch to electric, what kind of ripple effects could we see? This feels bigger than just individual cars.
It absolutely is. This could have a major impact on how our cities are designed and powered. Imagine less pollution in our urban centers, quieter streets,
Wow.
and a reduced reliance on fossil fuels.
Not to mention the potential for creating more livable, pedestrian-friendly cities with less space dedicated to parking garages and more room for parks and green spaces.
Precisely. This kind of shift in transportation technology could be a catalyst for a whole new era of urban planning.
It's amazing to think that a single innovation, this battery, could have such far-reaching consequences. But what about the existing energy grid? Can it handle a massive influx of EVs all needing to charge up?
That's a critical question. The increased demand for electricity will require significant investment in our energy infrastructure, which in turn could drive innovation in renewable energy sources and smart grid technologies.
So we could see a scenario where the rise of EVs actually accelerates the transition to a cleaner, more sustainable energy grid overall.
Absolutely. It's about interconnected systems. The success of one technology can often create the momentum needed to propel other areas forward.
It's mind-boggling when you really start to think about all the potential connections and long-term implications.
It's about seeing the bigger picture, understanding how seemingly isolated advancements can actually be threads in a much larger tapestry of progress.
Okay, so to bring this all back to our listeners today, we've covered a lot of ground. From the technical specs of the 4680 battery to its potential to reshape our cities and energy grids. What's the key takeaway here?
The key takeaway is this. Panasonic's bet on the 4680 is a bet on the future of electric mobility. And it's a bet with the potential for significant positive change, both for you as a consumer and for the world we live in.
And for those of you who, like me, are fascinated by the future of transportation and technology, this is definitely something to keep an eye on. But here's something else to ponder. If this technology really takes off, how might it, I don't know, change the way we live our daily lives? Like, could we see a future where car ownership isn't even necessary?
Oh, interesting.
Thanks to widespread, affordable, and convenient electric transportation options.
It's an intriguing thought. This isn't just about swapping gas stations for charging stations. It's about potentially reimagining our entire relationship with transportation, from personal vehicles to public transit and everything in between.
It's like right now we design our cities around the limitations of gas-powered cars, but
Yeah.
what if those limitations disappear?
Right.
What if range anxiety becomes a thing of the past? It opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
Exactly. We might see, well, the rise of purpose-built electric vehicles for specific needs,
Yeah.
like compact city cars designed for maximum efficiency in urban environments,
Well,
or spacious long-range vehicles for, comfortable cross-country travel.
and with the push for sustainable transportation, we might see a resurgence in things like electric bikes and scooters,
No.
further reducing our reliance on cars altogether.
It's all connected. The choices we make today, the technologies we invest in, they have the power to shape the world of tomorrow. And it seems Panasonic is betting big on a future powered by electricity.
And hopefully a future where you can spend less time worrying about your car battery and more time enjoying the journey. That wraps up our electrifying deep dive into Panasonic's 4680 battery.
Until next time, keep those wheels turning.
Yes.
Electrically, of course.